I got a DM the other day. I didn't even tell you guys. This is the first time I'm telling anybody. I got a DM from somebody, and they said, hey, if your church name is on this list, you're being watched by Israel. You're on the list. And this person sent it to me because our church is...
We made the list?
We made the list.
Hey, let's go. No, it's not a good?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. How am I supposed to feel?
Well, they got
I don't
money.
like anybody watching me. Hey, welcome to Not A Fitted Podcast. It's your boy, Anthony Conserve Chicano. I got my guys here. And guys, I'm so glad I didn't watch that Raider game. I'm happy I had other things going on. I peeked over and I was like, well, I'm glad there was nothing to watch. And then I took a lot of flack from your comments. I said, Lord, can't we just win one Super Bowl before I die? And you said, you're going to be alive a long time. But real quickly, all the Raider fans agreed with me on we do not know how to draft. That was almost unanimous consensus. At least we all agree on that. Besides that we're in an abusive relationship, they agreed with that too. But any of that surprise you guys?
No, I may or may not have made a comment about your owner looking like a wet rat on TV. And one of my kids may or may not have agreed.
Okay, do I need to get the Pastor Jerry Derman photo out?
Yeah.
Okay, was it?
It's the bangs, bro.
Were you in a weak moment? Were you hungry? Were you tired? How was the filter?
I felt bad for Max Crosby. I think that's what it was.
I feel bad. Okay, can I just tell you, above being loyal to my team, okay? And this is the only time I'm going to say, I love watching good athletes. Like, I've got no problem rooting for Christian McCaffrey. Not because he's a white running back. I saw that little grin on your face. I saw that grin. He had a little grin. He was like, yeah, white is right. We got a white running back. So,
well,
but he is the best running back. So all around, I think Saquon's a better runner, but there ain't nothing Christian can't do. So I like watching him. So I'll find myself rooting for Christian, even though he plays for the arch nemesis, right? He plays for the Niners. I like watching Patrick Mahomes. I think the guy left-handed, right-handed, behind his back, no look, whatever. I just like watching great athletes play. I like watching Micah Parsons, you know. So I like watching that. So I said all that to say I feel bad for Max Crosby. He's hands down. Overall, I think he's the best defensive end because there's nothing Max can't do. His durability, all that stuff overall. Okay. So I feel bad. And should I feel bad that I honestly want him to go to a team that's going to win and actually give him a chance to get a ring? Is that bad? Oh. Even though I'm supposed to be loyal to my team? I'm going to catch a lot of heat from Raider fans on this. I better shut up.
I saw Ashton, I don't know how you say
Gentry.
his name, right? Mm-hmm. They showed him on the bench, and I was thinking, like, what's he thinking? Like, is he excited to be in the NFL, or is he super disappointed that he's on the Raiders?
What would you be?
You're going to be disappointed.
Because you're competitive.
You know what I mean? Like, man, like,
yeah. I mean, you're happy to get there at first, the first couple games. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to
getting
be
paid.
Here. Yeah, I'm getting paid. I'm rich.
They just keep getting hit, and you're like,
yeah, eventually, you get tired of losing. You're practicing every day. Your body hurt. He was like, is this worth it?
Well, they showed us that, like, he gets hit earliest by any in comparison to every.
I think it's 2 yards in the backfield, almost 80% of the time. Yeah.
It's like, man, every time you get the ball, you're just getting hit.
He needs to call Barry Sanders. Him and Barry.
You got to learn how to juke.
Yeah, you got to
early.
learn how to sidestep. No, I just wanted to throw that out there. Hey, thank you everybody who's been tuning in. We talk about culture and its influence on the church, and we always throw in some humor, a little bit of sports, a little bit of this. But also, we truly believe that this next 60 minutes is really going to help you in your Christian walk. That's why we always tell you to like, comment, subscribe, but also share with other people. Just real quick, if I can, going back to that pastor segment, I meant to say, we did a pastor segment 2 weeks ago. You should really share that with other pastors. And for all of you who go to church, you should really love on your pastors. I just think, they're unsung heroes who don't get a lot of credit sometimes. So I really did appreciate that episode. But guys, so trending, I want to start right off the bat. And if you hear a little bit of surprise in my voice, it's because I'm legitimately surprised. 3 weeks ago, we talked about Nicki Minaj taking up the banner for the Christians in Nigeria who are getting murdered. This last week, Nicki Minaj is at the UN speaking on behalf of the Christians in Nigeria getting murdered.
Wow.
Okay. Did I miss something? Okay. Now, truth be told, you looked up Nicki Minaj and where she's from because we want to know, is she Nigerian? Is this what's going on? And tell everybody what you found out.
Sounds like she's from Trinidad.
Okay.
So, and she doesn't have any Nigerian roots, which makes us even more perplexed.
But you did read that she has Nigerian fans.
Yeah, she's global. But that's what it said in the little bit of research that I was reading, was that she's taking up the cause because she has fans in Nigeria who are kind of raising the flag saying, help us out.
Now, just real quick, because you always got those religious people, those Pharisees and Sadducees, you got Christians saying Nicki should not be representing and speaking on behalf of Christians. And I'm like, well, why don't you speak up then? And by the way, you ain't even got no platform. Who you going to tell, your neighbor? Like, ain't nobody going to listen to you. And so I'm over here going, I'm just happy somebody's speaking up. Isn't that the position we should have as believers? Like, we're just happy somebody's speaking up. I'm sure the folks in Nigeria are happy somebody's speaking up, especially somebody with a global platform.
Do you think that when something like this happens and it's somebody who you wouldn't expect, that people actually listen to them more?
Ooh. What do you think?
Does that make sense? Like, if Tim Tebow were to do this, do you think people would be like, yeah,
it's Tim Tebow. Yeah, we expect that.
Tim's at it again. But she does it, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, you're gonna reach a different audience. Different people are gonna pay attention because it's not used to coming from you. You're reaching different people. She's reaching different people than Tim Tebow is probably. So the audiences are probably different.
The betting man would say yes.
Okay, I'm going to go with Mike on that one. You know what, Bishop? I'm going to have to agree wholeheartedly on that statement. I don't think they're running in the same lanes. I tell you what, I got a little bit of the clip from Nicki Minaj at the UN. We're living in some weird times. Let's watch this right here.
Hello, everyone. I must say I am very nervous, so please, well, thank you, Ambassador Waltz, for this invitation. It is an honor to stand on this stage with you and the other distinguished speakers here today to shine a spotlight on the deadly threat faced by thousands of Christians in Nigeria. I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage in calling for urgent action to defend Christians in Nigeria, to combat extremism, and to bring a stop to violence against those who simply want to exercise their natural right to freedom of religion or belief. I stand here as a proud New Yorker with a deep sense of gratitude that we live in a country where we can freely and safely worship God regardless of one's creed, background, or politics. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion, like I recently stated on social media. And we don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other. We're way beyond thinking or expecting or assuming for the person sitting next to you to have the exact same beliefs. We're beyond that. That's ridiculous. But that shouldn't make one person feel less safe than anyone in any room. Music has taken me around the globe. I have seen how people, no matter their language, culture, or religion, come alive when they hear a song that touches their soul. Religious freedom means we all can sing our faith regardless of who we are, where we live, and what we believe. But today, faith is under attack in way too many places. In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned. Families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray. Sadly, this problem is not only a growing problem in Nigeria, but also in so many other countries across the world, and it demands urgent action. And I want to be clear. Protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides or dividing people. It is about uniting humanity. Nigeria is a beautiful nation with deep faith traditions and lots of beautiful barbs that I can't wait to see. When one's church, mosque, or place of worship is destroyed, everyone's heart should break just a little bit. And the foundation of the United Nations, with its core mandate to ensure peace and security, should shake. I am joined here today by peace builders, by faith leaders, by those who saw violence, saw rising intolerance, saw the threats clearly before us, and chose not to look the other way. I am inspired by their work to build interfaith ties, to see the humanity across the lines which might divide us, and to fight for security and liberty for all those who pray. I look forward to our discussion today, and I hope it will encourage deepened solidarity for us to urgently work together to ensure every person can enjoy the right to believe, to worship, and to live in peace. Barbs, I know you're somewhere listening. I love you so very much. You have been the ultimate light in my life and career for so long. I appreciate you, and I want to make it very clear once again that this isn't about taking sides. This is about standing up in the face of injustice. It's about what I've always stood for my entire career, and I will continue to stand for that. For the rest of my life, I will care if anyone, anywhere, is being persecuted for their beliefs. Thank you.
I don't know what to say. She did great. That was great.
Yeah, maybe she just has a conviction to just defend people. I mean, she's not coming out saying I'm a believer or, I stand with my brothers and sisters. She's just saying, hey, I don't think this is right, and we got to do something about it. And that's okay.
Kudos to her.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to do something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she's taking heat for it. I mean, to come out and say, thank Trump, I'm sure people aren't happy about that. I'm sure a lot of fans aren't happy. So.
See, that type of stuff is still what I don't understand. I don't know, maybe because it's just me. You show honor and respect when you need to. I've told people that. So she probably will, though. I think you're right on that. What'd you think? I was impressed.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. And I didn't expect, kind of like Deshaun's point, I guess I was anticipating kind of like a pitch of her faith or communicating that she is of faith. And she stayed pretty in the middle. So it was, I thought she did a great job articulating just her heart for the situation and the need for change.
Yeah, and I'm super excited that she is bringing awareness. And I will say this, both of you are right. She just reached a total different audience, and good for her. Kudos for that. And maybe with some more awareness, we can get some action done so our Christian brothers and sisters don't have to live in that persecution. Okay, let's come back around on something. We talked about the whole 6'7" thing. You guys got any 6'7" stories now? People are blowing me up over this. Like, some are going, hey, it shouldn't be that bad. Others are going, wow, now that you know this is bad. So it's everything we talked about the other day. But did you guys have any stories, 6'7" stories? Did you share it with your kids? You don't care? We're still going to In-N-Out Burger. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I actually went home and I showed my kids. And I was thankful for the edited version that we put online. That was nice. But it was interesting because my mother-in-law had actually kind of told them, hey, like this isn't something you want to do. And so, but I didn't know. And so then when I saw the video, I was like, oh yeah, she was right.
You swear to God. Okay, 2 points there, 2 points.
So they were like, yeah, grandma said something about this. And one of my kids was like, yeah, it is hard to stop saying it.
What about you? You got any 6'7" people in your house? Well, you probably have some cousins that are 6'7", huh? Tall?
maybe close to, I don't know, 6'7", maybe close. Okay. No, I didn't talk to my kids about it. I totally forgot about it. I never heard my kids say it.
Oh, okay.
No, I think they might say it. Mm-hmm. Like I learned that at home, so I never crossed my mind to say. Now someone got my youngest one, to do like the hand motion.
Not my dude, not my JoJo.
Yeah, so someone taught him it. So my siblings could have taught him it.
Okay, so if he learned that, he can learn a 3-point stance. I got to get him ready.
No,
I got plans. JoJo, I listen. Timestamp this, Deshaun. I'm telling you right now. JoJo we riding on this. He's going to be in the NFL. He is buying your, what did he want? King Country GMC truck? What did he want? High Country?
Yeah.
He wanted some fancy truck. Which one was it?
Yeah, the High Country is the highest one now. Yeah,
JoJo is the one who's going to buy you your High Country. Now you may be 50 when you get it, or 55 or whatever, but you're going to get it. I just want NIL deals. He might get it by college. I'm telling you, JoJo's got it. I can see it in his eyes. We got 3-point stand. If he could do this, we could do this. Okay, so it brought me to something that I had saw a while ago. I don't know. Do you guys? I know you know who Cam Newton is.
Yeah.
And are you guys familiar? He has a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a couple of his episodes. Not bad. I mean, I usually tune
he
in.
has his own podcast.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen him on other people's stuff.
No, he has his own. And I'm selective with podcasts that I listen to. I usually see who's on there, and then I determine whether or not I'm going to watch it. Just an Anthony thing, because I can't watch them all, right? But I came across this clip. And the reason I wanted to bring it up to you guys is because of the whole 6'7" thing. I don't know who this guy is. Maybe you guys do. Maybe he's a pastor. But Cam Newton is going to try to get him to do something. I just want you to see how he responds. And the reason I'm telling you this, I think there are more demonic things that are around us than we are even aware of. So now that I gave you that little preface, watch this.
Say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
All right. It's going to look similar like this. We got your camera or my camera right here, your camera right here, our camera right here. It's going to be one finger. Then we're going to add the pinky, then add the thumb. And when I say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
You ready? Here we go. One finger. You got to do it with me, brother. That's just the sign of love.
Okay, so I hear you. Can I share something else?
Please.
This symbol is called Mana Canuno. It's a satanic salute as well. Google it. So for me, listen.
Google the sign.
Listen to me. Listen. Cam, listen. Son, listen to me. I'm saying that not to judge you. You listening? I'm saying that I can't participate in that part, but I can't say one love. I'm just falling in line with my own convictions. Can we reset, son?
Yes, I got it.
Come on. You leaving me hanging?
Oh. But I just think sometimes
It's just a personal conviction.
I'm not trying to judge your personal conviction, but what I am also saying, you should consider the intentions. My intentions is not.
Okay, let's reset. I know your intentions are good.
Okay.
You looking at me, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm serious.
Yes, sir.
I have to follow what is in me.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Satanists do that same salute. You can Google it. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't mean to you something different.
No, it is a universal
Love,
sign
and that's awesome.
love.
And that's awesome.
And I'm giving you love.
And you know what you give me love through? This.
Okay.
I want to read some of the comments. So
He's on some other stuff too.
well, let's read the comments. So this goes back to what we were talking about yesterday. He says him getting as upset as he did is what really exposed everything.
Yep.
You have to watch out for people who try to convince you to do something after you've already told them no. His response to him not wanting to participate was the biggest red flag. No, bro, Unks is right. Your intentions are to defile him by having him be a part of your shenanigans. Cam could have just said, oh, okay, no problem. I respect your beliefs and moved on. And the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
The pastor's son done missed it.
So going through those comments, he did. But going through those comments, I didn't have any problem with any of those comments right there. He said, listen, by the way, respectfully, I don't want to participate. I have my own convictions. And Cam wasn't feeling that. And that's what told me there was a spirit behind it. Because if you'd have been like, hey, man, so we travel the country. And if there's a gesture you do that we do here that's usually no big deal, but over there it's a big deal, what do you not do? You don't do that gesture.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that gesture. Right? I remember when your wife came back, Rocky came back from Costa Rica. There's some words we use in Spanish that are completely acceptable here that she accidentally said over there and were completely not acceptable. It meant totally something different. Mm. And then they said a phrase over there and she was like, you can't say that. And they go, yeah, this is what it means over here. And I don't think he was getting that. And that's what told me, especially after he said, no, I've seen Satanists do it. Mm-hmm. And he didn't blink one eye. He didn't bat an eye. I don't know. What'd you think about that?
Yeah, it's something we talked about last week. Is just the idea of symbols, and I think it could be more around us than we know, and little things can offend people, like the jack-o'-lantern. And it's like, I had no idea. People have said like, no, this is what this was used for in the past. And so when you discover those things, you have to decide what are you going to do from there on out.
Right.
But I don't think the intent was bad. And I think that's what he was trying to express to Cam. But I think a big part of it is that he did grow up in church. He's probably he probably did hear these things before. And like, man, in his mind, like, I'm tired of this. You guys, anything I do, he's probably heard from his dad or from other people. It's like, everything I do, you guys always want to call out. And he's just like, no, I'm going to get rid of that. And I think that's where his frustration is like, no, because he still wants to live in a world, but you have this pastor really here calling him out. And he's probably, I'm getting tired of getting called out all the time. And so there's going to be these symbols. We have to decide when these things pop up, what are we going to do with them?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. What was you going to say?
That's an interesting take. I agree. I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, you could see that there is this there's like he wants to fight back. Like Cam wants to fight back, and so whether or not Cam's wrapped up in all of this, I don't know, but he sure doesn't seem to want to respect the other side. Like he wants the uncle or whatever, the older guy, the pastor, to come to his side, one love, right? But he doesn't want to when the conviction is expressed, he takes it personal right away instead of just being like, oh, okay, that's what you think. Mm-hmm. And so like you said, like that kind of combativeness, I think to me was his true colors being shown, and that's why he got offended.
And I think, if I could just say this, I think there's believers out there who capitulate, who they know it's wrong, but yet they give in because of the peer pressure. And I think this is a textbook. Me personally, I think this is a textbook example of how you can stand your ground and be polite, but yet be strong and firm. Amen?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I thought he did good. He's like, hey, let me explain to you, son. Look at me. I'm not doing this to disrespect you, but I have my own personal convictions. And by the way, I think, if I can, I think that transcends even just handshakes. That's movies. That's parties. That's the things we surround ourselves with. If that spot gets too hot, you need to shake it. And why? Because you don't need to defile your own personal convictions. And I think this is a good video for believers. I think y'all need to rewatch this. You can stand your ground and still be loving, because we live in a society that if you don't believe what they believe and you don't affirm what they believe, then we can't be friends. That is not true. You need to watch that video. We can still be friends. I can still love you. I just don't agree with you, and I ain't doing it. I ain't participating in that. And I think this is a good video to do that. Anything else you guys want to add on that? Hey, y'all shocked by that? Had you seen that before?
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that video, that clip.
Yeah, I guess maybe I was taken back a little bit because of his dad being a pastor, growing up in church, and I would have thought there would have been a little bit more reverence for his guest.
So no pushback then. It would have been like, hey man, that's cool. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the danger for all of our kids is that they're so familiar with the church, they're so familiar with all these different type of things. They're like, I already know what you're going to say, and I really don't want to hear it. Like it's already this hardness that can build up, and it's like our prayer, I think, for our kids is like that their hearts will stay soft,
absolutely,
and not reject it, because they're so used to hearing this, they're so used to hearing this correction, they're so used to, I already know where you're leading to, I already know where you're going, I already know what you're going to tell me.
But to me, it makes it even more scary that he obviously has this person on his show because he respects him.
He called him son, so yeah.
So for the respect to go out the door or the window so fast,
no, that was 0 to 60 real quick.
Is even more.
But probably like mine, like, man, just like my dad, don't do that, or just like I heard him, just stop doing that again, just over and over. Like I feel like he's hearing that instead of just receiving it.
But he tried to coerce him a little bit, like, but my intentions aren't bad, and it's like. But it had nothing to do with your intentions. It had everything to do with my convictions.
I know. Well, the thing is, he didn't.
This is what I'm saying. Your intentions don't trump my convictions, and that's what the dude was standing on business. Hey, I know your intentions are good, but it doesn't trump my convictions. I got to stand firm to my convictions, and Cam wasn't budging on that.
Well, the thing is, he didn't tell Cam not to do it.
He didn't. He said, I'm not doing it.
Someone say he got offended. He just said, I'm not doing it. She's like, he didn't even question his intentions. He just says, he didn't even say anything. He let Cam do it, and he was like, oh, no, you got to do it too. He didn't even tell Cam. He didn't tell Cam at first that it was bad. He didn't tell him, I'm not going to do it. Right. He just let him roll with it, and he was going to say the last part, hopefully just to go under the radar. It seemed like, to me, what he was trying to do. But no, the Cam noticed it. He brought it up, and then he felt convicted by it.
And that's what I'm telling people all the time. Your intentions don't trump my convictions. This is bottom line. And you're right. He didn't try to stand on a soapbox to correct him. But when he asked and he spit facts.
Yeah, because if you go around trying to correct every single thing, you're going to be exhausted.
You're going to be exhausted.
You'll be exhausted. You'll be pointing out. You're walking down the street, just pointing out everything. It's a bunch of demonic, evil things that are going on.
That's a hard life, too. You're going to be tired. Okay, so I got another one. I don't think you guys are going to be happy with me on this one. Okay? But I like to point out things when people stand on business and they handle their stuff and they do well. I like to give attaboys and kudos. Okay, call it the coach in me. Mike Todd. Oh, I knew I was going to get some grunts, some eye rolls. Mike Todd was on the Breakfast Club, and I was rather surprised that he did a great job of presenting the gospel. and he did a great job for the most part. A couple little 5-yard, 10-yard penalties, but he did a great job. And I want to show you a clip. And here's where I'm at. I think the older I get, the more I feel like Paul. And Paul says whether they preach Christ in vain or they preach Christ in the right reasons, as long as they preach Christ, that's all that matters to me. And that's where I'm at right now. As long as they preach in Christ and they're representing Christ on these shows, I'm not gonna say nothing. And I'm gonna high five when it's time to high five. I'll correct when it's time to correct, but I'm a high five when it's time to correct. High five. I want to show you the clip and let's get an honest assessment. Okay, y'all gonna have to really work on your biases right here, but let's get an honest assessment of this clip right here. This is Mike Todd. By the way, he gets called out on his feminine hygiene or his feminine outfits, just so you know. So, and by the way, none of them on the show thought it was feminine. So anyway, I just was throwing that out there, but he does set the record straight on that. Like he thought it was trendy and it looked good. So just for the case point, but watch this gospel right here.
So why do I have to talk through the Son to talk to my Father?
Because the Bible says that Jesus is the only way, the truth, and the life. Mm-hmm. The only way that you can come to him is through the only way you can come to the Father is through the Son, because he knew that we would not be able to understand his ways. The Bible says his ways are not our ways, thoughts is not our thoughts. He's higher. So I'm going to take myself, the Trinity. Now we getting into a deep theological thing, but we get into the Trinity and it's the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit all in one. And he said, I got to give my children something they can relate to. So I'm going to wrap myself in humanity. I'm going to put on humanity and I'm going to come to the earth. And when I come to the earth, I'm going to live this life sinless for 33 years, but I'm not going to do it without temptation. I'm going to let all the temptations that they would experience come. And because everything that is redeemed has to have a sacrifice, I'm going to become the sacrificial lamb for everybody. And all they got to do is believe that this was done for them. And they'll have access back to the Father. And what ends up happening in that is all it is an acknowledgement that God did this for us. And when you understand that, you really understand the love of God. Like most people, people going through all kinds of stuff right now. And most people just don't know they're loved. Like they were loved even before their parents had them. The Bible says before you were in your mother's womb, I knew you, I chose you, I called you. So like even all the crazy bad stuff that happens in this earth because we're in a fallen world right now, there's still somebody who loves you enough to help you, redeem you, send good people into your life, give you different opportunities. And so for me, man, I know who I was before I met God for real. Like I knew I was a liar, addicted to pornography, a manipulator. I had very evil things in my heart. And then I realized I was loved by God and he had a plan for my life. And he took all my gifts and my talents and all that other stuff and I could use it for him. And it changed my life. And I want as many people to know that. And I don't care what you think about me. I don't care if you clown me. I don't care I know the truth that one day we all gonna find out. And I'm passionate about it because I don't want nobody to get to the great judgment and be like, nobody told me. Like, I'm going to be the dude that's like, yo, at least I tried to tell you, like, there's a different way to do this.
Okay. How do you think you did?
Yeah, it was okay. It was good.
Okay. For his standard, how do you think he did?
Yeah.
Wasn't that great?
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah. You're still not impressed, but okay. But how do you think he did?
No, I'm not. I don't think about Mike Todd. I ain't tripping on Mike Todd. I ain't against Mike Todd. We'll see him in heaven.
Okay, there you go. Well, you at least gave him the heaven. That was good. That was
but
good.
I hope so. I mean, yeah.
Well, me too, actually. Yeah. I'm working on me still, though, but that's good. He did good, though, right?
Yeah. It's kind of disappointing.
Which part?
Well, just that, like, you can be normal. It's okay.
Oh.
No, I'm not even trying to joke, but like, he reaches an audience. We talk about Nicki Minaj. Like he reaches people that other people can't necessarily reach, and he can do it in a way that honors the gospel. And so it's like, it's disappointing that sometimes he would stray from just being that. So I thought he did good.
So going back to that, speaking of these platforms, I know you said, it's disappointing because he can't do stuff normal. I don't know him. I don't want to speak too much into it, but I think the reason he does what he does, they question him about his outfits on the show. all this stuff. I think he feels like he's reaching a certain type of people, and those are the people he's called to. That's why I don't hate on it. That's why I don't say much. I do question a couple times, like, hey, you kind of, like when he said there should have been a third option or something. I'm like, hey, man, you as a communicator, there's black and there's white, and there is a gray area, but you got to be real careful. You got to be real careful when you start to dive into that gray area a little bit. And sometimes you can go too far in that gray area, and the respectable thing to do is to circle back and to say, hey, guys, I need to clean that up. I need to clean that up. That's a mulligan. It's a my bad. And this is what the Bible says. And I think that's what I've gotten onto him about. Like, hey, man, your mentor should be in your ear. Like, you got to stay away from that gray area because your platform is so big. You got to be careful. But I am grateful for the platforms. I'll never be invited on the Breakfast Club. I won't be in that position. And so far, so good. He's handling it well. And I thought right there he did a great presentation of the gospel. And so I was super happy for him, just like I was for Tim Tebow. So that's what I want to say there. 2 points, Mike Todd. Great job defending that gospel on the Breakfast Club. So that's all I was saying. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. There's two things. I don't even know how to say this. This is kind of creepy. And I thought about playing the clip, but I'm not going to play the clip. I got a DM the other day. I didn't even tell you guys. This is the first time I'm telling anybody. I got a DM from somebody, and they said, hey, if your church name is on this list, you're being watched by Israel. You're on the list. And this person sent it to me because our church is...
We made the list?
We made the list.
Hey, let's go. No, it's not a good...
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. How am I supposed to feel?
Well, they got
I don't
money.
like anybody watching me.
You gonna send us money or what?
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
This is what's crazy. I'm gonna play you a clip because there is rumors put out by Nick Fuentes and Tucker and all these guys that these pastors are on the payroll to be influencers.
Pastor, you getting paid and not giving us none?
Okay.
Come on, we said we were boys.
Yeah. Let the truth out. Come on.
Okay, first off, you know me. If I'm getting paid, we all getting paid.
All right.
So,
At least dinner, something.
hey, does it look like I got paid? Do I look at me? I ain't got paid. We sitting here in an office studio over here.
But are we open to it?
Are we open?
No, I'm just playing.
My contract is always negotiable. but I hate playing this because I've lost a lot of respect for this guy.
Oh,
but
Mark
he's
Driscoll.
You already know I've lost a lot of respect for him. And the whole I'll see him in heaven, I'm not there yet. So it was wrong. What he said was wrong. No?
Yeah, we're gonna see him in heaven.
Okay. Am I being harsh? I'm in my feelings?
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So anyway, he's at the top of the list. He's one of the ones that are at the top of the list of getting paid by Israel. And
The Driscoll is?
Yeah, this is his comment.
Israel's always good for their checks. It doesn't matter what Nick Fuentes says; they are good for their money. It's just so silly because as soon as you say something they don't like, it just seems like they accuse you in a conspiratorial way of being bought. I've checked my mailbox. The country just bought me, and I'll tell you this. It's going to take more than $7,000 because $7,000, I got like my 6th grandkid on the way. This would barely knock out Christmas. So if you're going to give me, you got to give me more than that. Here's what's weird. This is why we've architected things the way they are. I don't take any money from book sales. I don't take money from platform monetization. I don't take any money from product sales. And at the end of the day, I just want to get Bible teaching out. And I've come to my conclusions by going through books of the Bible, verse by verse, for 30 years while faithful to my wife.
Okay. What do we got?
Man, I really want to like Mark Driscoll. It's like, why do you have to say stupid stuff sometimes? I don't know.
I just don't.
Sorry.
He seems like a very mean man.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like mean
Do I need
people.
to play that?
But I also want like a tough, like Christian, like man, like in the spotlight too. Like, anyways, sorry.
Got Trump.
That was actually funny, Mike. That was really funny. I need to play that Home Depot clip again for you. That made me mad. Because you could at least come back and apologize. See, I digress. So you got me. See, you give me my.
No, I said I want to, but no, he says.
Hey, he would be a good friend to have because it sounds like he's got good Christmases.
He does. He said $6,000 would barely cover a Christmas. I heard that. You're right.
I'm like, man,
that covers 3 or 4 Christmas. I don't know what he's talking about.
They got good toys at his house.
They got great toys. You know what? They got so much money. They got different toys. They got the same toy at different houses, so the kid never has to go without.
What's in their stockings?
Not stuffers. I'm telling you, hey, they getting real candy. They getting the giant Reese's peanut butter cups. It's good stuff right there. Anyway, that was the rumors going around. I don't know. Any thoughts on that? Being on the take and paying influencers and pastors and
I don't know. Always the Israel stuff is always just weird. It's just they're paying off people. They're not paying off people. They're evil. They're not evil. Just I don't know. I don't know. They're running the country. They need us. I don't. Who knows?
I feel like I'm in a confused relationship.
Yeah.
We're in a confused relationship.
I mean, because a lot of it probably is true, and a lot of it is probably lies, and we don't know, and we're never gonna know.
And we're never gonna know.
Yeah.
Truth and lies. You agree?
Yeah, I think there's some truth to it.
And
there might truly be some pastors are getting paid off.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that the list is accurate. Like maybe everybody on the list is not, but they do some shady stuff.
You're right. I'm not going to argue.
I mean, just like we do. So I mean,
see, that's the thing.
Every government is shady.
So I'm watching a podcast right now sent to me by another viewer, where I don't know what to think. Like they're talking about some MK Ultra stuff, some Illuminati stuff, some Rothschild stuff right now, and how that's got spiritual connotations and all this. And I'm like, at first I want to dismiss it, because the MK Ultra, and then I'm like, but Joe Rogan's a huge believer in the MK Ultra stuff, along with a lot of his guests that come on that know a lot. And I'm like, snap. So I can't dismiss it because it's not just Christians who are saying it. This guy's spin on it is a lot of the MK Ultra stuff that they found is what they have teamed up with Satanists, because Satanists know how to make people decompartmentalize and this whole stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking, why would I put it past my government that they wouldn't try to be into some nasty, dark spiritual stuff to try to torment people? Well, that's exactly what they would do. So you see what I'm saying? So like, I find myself watching the podcast arguing and then agreeing and then telling myself, why am I arguing with this when you know it's actually possible? That's how I feel about everything right now. And why? Because I don't want to look down on another government when I don't even trust my own government. Case in point, okay, you guys aren't old enough to know this, but I am, okay? That's my way of saying you guys are younger. Back in the day, when we were in grade school, which means you guys weren't born, we were sold this mythical tale of if we allow California to have a lottery, then proceeds of the lottery money would go to fund our school system. And that we would never have any more needs ever again. Where's all that money? The lottery's huge. You see what I'm saying? So just like, I don't know, did I tell you guys this? Newsom's running around talking about Trump built a ballroom for his rich cronies, and Trump's like, hey, look at the books. Nobody paid for it, but these people donated. But yet Gavin Newsom's building a new state capitol, and nobody can find any records of any money. Or there's been no audits. There's been nothing. It's been blank checks. Someone getting paid. So that's the, you understand where I'm going with that? I don't want to look down on somebody else's government when I know my government is equally is shady, if I can say it that way. So anyway, I'm with you guys on that one. All right, I'm done. That's all. I'm conspiratorial theoried out over here, but I had to play that. I give you guys my word. If somebody approaches me and they want to talk about my contract, my negotiations, I'm going to bring you guys into the deal. Okay? We're going to have a full-on, this is not a fitted podcast. We got to have a full-on contract negotiation deal. We don't need an agent. Okay? We're right here.
Yeah, like what's the recruitment dinner like, you know? Because they've got a wine and dine. Minus the wine, but the dime.
So I want Ruth Chris, nothing less. Don't be taking me no Sizzler. I want Ruth Chris.
Let's go.
We got to go to the mall. You know, my wife has got to end up with a real purse, not a fake purse. I don't want Gucci when it's got to be Gucci. You know what I mean? So
I don't need much. We go in and out. I do some checks. Some checks and that's it.
Deshaun's like, hey, I'll just take a double.
Yeah, I'll pay my car payment. That's all I need.
We worth more, D. We worth more. Okay, so let's talk about Deuteronomy. Did anything stand out to you guys this last week in reading? I'll let you guys go first because mine's a real simple. I'm a simple person. Mine was real simple. But go ahead. You got something, Mike?
Yeah, I was taken back to chapter 12, and I was talking to my daughter. She's in a computer science class right now, and in coding, there's like if-then statements, right? So like that's how you code. Like I know what I'm talking about, but I took it one time, and if this happens, then this, right?
Okay. If then,
yeah. So we were going through 12 together, and I was like, "Hey, did you see the if-then?" And she was like, "Well, what are we talking about?" And in 12. God is laying it out, and he's like, if you do this, then the blessings.
Yes. I see where you're going with that.
If you do this,
right,
the curses, but the promises, and I was so encouraged actually by reading 12, is if I live my life a certain way, honoring God, placing him first, doing these things, like then he will. It says, I will. And God will, he will put up his end of the deal. And so we talked about blessings. I told her, say, blessings may not mean that like we're driving some fancy car or anything like that.
Put that in your contract.
Yeah, that's part of the contract over Ruth's Chris. And, but I was just saying like, you have, as we were talking, she and I said, hey, do you have your own faith that you've got to live out? And, because also in 12 it says that I'm supposed to teach her.
Right.
And so we were talking. I said, you got to live your own faith out, but you're getting ready to go to school, and you can actually see this played out. If then, watch all the kids who don't honor God, who don't follow God. Watch them live in that curse of just being unsettled and having anxiety and living in depression and just kind of going down the list. And I said, but if you choose to honor God, the blessings that come along with it. And so 12 really stuck out to me. It was a chapter that she and I got to kind of hang out on.
That's cool, man. That's really good to hear. What about you, Bishop?
Man, I don't know. I'm really liking this book, and I don't know why so much right now.
Have you ever liked Deuteronomy like this before?
No. But chapter 15, man, was a lot of things in there. But one of them was, sort of talking about like he's telling them, if you obey me, if you live according to his laws, there'll basically be no poor amongst you.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh wow. And then, but a few verses later, he says, there will be poor among you.
You ain't a bad.
Yeah. And so he says, this is how you treat your fellow Israelites, if they sell themselves into slavery, the 7th year, they get left free.
Right.
Just this community together. And then even keeps talking about the foreigner. And this idea, like, we have a lot in our culture now or in our country now. They talk about the foreigner. And just the idea of how it works. And just for people as they read the Bible, it's not always so black and white. Like we are to care for them, but also we see here, if we're looking in the biblical terms, they also they have responsibility too to assimilate into the culture as well. And people who didn't get treated the same. Correct. Like they were treated differently.
Correct.
They didn't get the same benefits as those who actually took on the culture. And so there is responsibility as believers to treat people well, to treat the foreigner well, but they also have a responsibility to assimilate into the culture. And it's the balance of that we don't have to completely cater to them, especially them. Like when God brought them into that area, they're like, no, we don't take on their gods. Like, hey, you got to leave that behind or you can't be around us. And so just understanding that it's not just black and white of like, no, we're supposed to give up everything, our culture, our beliefs, and for them, like, no, they have some responsibility as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Bishop. Something that's been on my heart for a while. When we were over in Israel, it was funny. I apparently, for a time there, when we went through the whole tower thing and everybody told me I wasn't Mexican, I had an identity crisis. Like I was really starting to wonder if I was Mexican or not, just so you guys know that. But it's funny, when I went to Israel, apparently 9 out of 10 people who we ran into knew we were Mexican, because instead of speaking, English to us as Americans, they were like, "Orale, orale," and they were like, "Come buy from us." Anyway, it was just really sombreros, camisetas, shirts, hats, bro. It was impressive, and all their money on lockdown. on lockdown in Spanish. Like we were all laughing. Even the little kids, hey, mamacita, bro, this was great. Whoa. You could tell people watching novellas over there. You know what I mean? Hey. So, so clearly, just so you know, internationally, I'm Mexican apparently. I got my Mexican card back. I felt like it was a good day. It was a good day. So we were joking, and no cap here. This is true. We're waiting for our bus to pick us up over at the Dung Gate, which is right over by the Wailing Wall. And so we're at a bus stop though. Okay. So Elliot, everybody's got their Dodgers stuff on, you know, shout out, Dodgers, right? So they're all representing. This guy walks by and this rabbi is asking him for if he wants a blessing. So he gives him a blessing, he gets him money. And I'm not judging. I'm just trying to mind my own business. But the guy makes a comment. He goes, man, y'all bled me dry already. I'm good. Like, I'm good. I got all the blessings. I'm good. And then he stops where we're at. And I'm kind of like looking down, and he goes, y'all from Cali. And he's perfect English. Before, it was perfect Hebrew. He's Jewish. He was perfect Hebrew, except for the you bled me dry part, right? And his wife's like, oh, they're for sure from California. And then he looks over at Elliot. There's my Dodger fans right here. Oh, bro. We start laughing. He's from, I think he said he's from like Palmdale or Lancaster or whatever over there. So we all start laughing. And he's like, I know my Cali people when I see them. That's what's up. So guys, where you guys from? And then this is going to surprise you. We said we're from Fresno. He goes, oh, you're from Central Cal. Who do you think took that? I took that hard. Yep. I took that hard. So you know what? For the first time ever on Not Offended podcast, you two are right. This is Central Cal. How's that feel?
Yeah, we do it.
Anyway, I'm sitting there laughing. So he leaves. We start talking. It was cool. It was really good to see him. Just making friends. And then we all get to talking. And I thought, man, hey, everybody heard that new Will I Am video, East LA, shouts out Boyle Heights and all this stuff. And I was thinking California stuff. And don't go looking up the song. The song is, well, I don't know. Let's leave it up for your discretion. But it's just.
You knew that both of us had no idea what you're talking about right now.
He's just celebrating like SoCal things, the Dodgers, being Mexican. Because he grew up in the barrio. He's black, but he grew up in number of Mexicans. Okay. Video not good.
Again, you and I are like, wait, Will I Am being happy to Mexican? All right.
He raps in Spanish and in English. It's really good.
I did hear that story. Okay. He grew up with Mexicans.
He did. He really did. Sock check. So we're doing sock checks. We're having a good time. We're just being Mexicans. And so I was thinking about that. And then while we were cruising around and we were just taking in the sights and the scenes, I started thinking about immigration. And he had got on and he had said a few things about immigration because he really did grow up with Mexicans. Like that's a real story. That's a real story. And so I started thinking to myself, as a Christian, not just a Hispanic, but as a Christian, should we not be the front runners and leaders on an immigration standard that is a blessing to all? So let me I'm gonna play both sides of the coin real quick. So like when it comes to having border security, you know what Israel taught me? Border security works. Now they're a little overboard. It's a little much in my book, but it does work. It does. So should we have border security? Absolutely. The Bible even talks about it. If you don't have walls to defend yourself, that's on you because you're gonna need them sooner or later. But should we have an immigration policy that is friendly to those who are trying to enrich themselves and make a better life? Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. Should we make it an easier process than what it currently is? Absolutely. Should we be getting rid of people who are domestic violence or perpetrating drugs or any of that type of stuff? Should we be getting those people on a one-way ticket? Absolutely. But should we be punishing Maria, who's been here for 20 years and who's tried to do this the right way but ain't getting no love? Absolutely not. We have an opportunity to be a beacon to the rest of the world that you can have a healthy immigration policy that's a blessing to all. That's what I wanted to say. Yes, and there is going to be a little give and take. People will have to assimilate. They will have to see our culture. And the beauty is we get to partake in their culture. That's the part that I loved. Mm-hmm. I loved about Israel is I'm partaking in both cultures over here. And I'm enjoying myself because I don't have the hundreds of years of animosity between it. And just for the record, where would we be without Taco Tuesday? Right? This is why it's good. Why you guys laughing?
So like Mario Driscoll.
But tacos, you know what we came to a conclusion. We came to a conclusion over there.
I'm pretty sure Taco Tuesday is a white thing.
Tacos are still tacos.
No, the tacos are good, but the whole taco.
But the hey,
Cinco de Mayo.
But we get rich off it, so I'm taking it. I said this. I looked at everybody on the trip. I said, you know why people still fighting? They don't got no tortas to sit down and celebrate with. They're not breaking, carne asada and carnitas. Or they're not eating carnitas at all. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is why they're upset. If you had you some good caldo de res, you wouldn't be fighting anymore. You'd be like, man, this is good food. We should get along. But we should be leading the way. Which brings me to my take. So starting from about 10 or 11 on, I'd have to go back and look again real quick. You know what I kept seeing in here? Is the word choice. Mm-hmm. Choice. As parents of young kids, aren't you not getting your kids used to like, hey, you're going to have a choice. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what your parents try to teach you? Hey, son, you're going to have a choice. Yeah. You're going to have a choice. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like what separates us from every other religion is that power of choice that God has endowed us with. Choose ye this day whom you gonna serve. Choose blessings or curses. Choose to do the right thing or the wrong thing. But you're always going to have a place where you can choose. You can choose God or not choose God. You can choose to do the right or you can choose to do the wrong. They said choice is so fundamental to who God is. He put 2 trees in a garden. Some people look at that and say, well, he set them up to fail. He set them up to choose. Because God only wants people who are going to love him for him and who are going to passionately and diligently seek him for who he is. I don't know. What do you think about that? The choice.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of what Michael talks about earlier too. It's like you sort of get this choice if you want to live blessed or not. If you want to live and have this freedom, like he said, like you obey me, ain't gonna be no poor among you. But there's gonna be poor among you because all of you are not gonna choose me. So treat them well. Yeah. So it's just like God gives us this choice. He understands that we're gonna make bad choices, and that's why he sent the Son and to redeem us so that we can make whole, and there's forgiveness, and you can make things, like you say all the time, you can make things right. And so, but we have this choice, and God's hoping we choose the right choice, and we choose the right choices, man, he's going to be there with us. No matter if things go wrong, we can have this confidence. It's, again, we're talking about like that double-minded person. Mm-hmm. Like, man, things are going wrong, and you're afraid, is God with me? Because you made the bad choices. Mm-hmm. But when things are going wrong, you make the right choices, you're like, nah, this is going to work out. Mm-hmm. Like, you have this confidence, you have this peace that, like, man, where's this peace coming from? It's like, nah, God's with me. I know it. I've been following him. I've been faithful to him. He's going to be faithful to me. So
I couldn't agree more. What about you, Choice? Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I hear it as well, reading through those chapters. The choice is yours. Make it today. And it goes back to 12 where it talked about, we're supposed to teach our children when they when they sit down, when they stand up, when they walk about, but at the end of the day, the faith is going to be yours.
Speaking of choice real quick, and we're going to get into the sermon this last weekend, just real quick. How about something for a little irony real quick? Just some, I don't know if you guys ever, just a point to ponder. The mark of the beast is going to go where?
Forehead?
Or?
Wrist.
Hand.
Yeah. He
says to bind the word of God where?
On your foreheads.
And?
On your wrist.
Yeah. It's a choice. I know. I didn't think of it that way either. So I was like, forehead, hand. And I remember seeing the Hasidic Jews over there. They do it today still. But it hit me about, hey, the mark of the beast is on the forehead. The only reason I see that is Amazon's coming out with the new chip system, and you can just wave your hand. So that was the only reason why I triggered my brain on that. And I was like, that's funny. It's going to be a choice one day. You can either choose God's word or you could choose that mark, but both are going to go on your forehead and your hand.
Makes me think that's more of a symbol than more than anything. Anyway, sorry. I'm just thinking out loud.
You start going down a rabbit hole, don't you?
Yeah, because you're not going to literally put the word on your forehead or, on your wrist. So.
Well, they do. They literally have the box with the word in it. And the word
but I think but
it is symbolic. No, I get what you're saying, like the revelation.
No, but in my head, I guess I always thought about, like, literally, you want to get a symbol, on your forehead.
Like 666.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I got nowhere to go with it.
I know. Now we're going to be like, ooh, we got a theory going on here. But I just thought I would tell you that. Okay. Mm-hmm. So going back to choice, we're talking about friends. And we're talking about the brothers who helped his friend get to Jesus on the mat, tearing up the roof. They made a choice. And what I thought interesting about this, Jesus calls him friend. He's like, hey, since all your friends are calling you friend, I call you friend. Friend, your faith has made you whole. I just thought that was interesting, right? So, Bishop, I said it. I keep saying it. I say it a lot. Your friends determine a lot about you. And I feel like a broken record sometimes when I'm saying, you had a drinking friend, you had a smoking weed friend, but do you have a Bible friend? And I just want, if I can, go back to an illustration of an outlet. If you only have 6 plugins in this outlet and that's all you're capable of really powering and maintaining, you got to choose those 6 things that are connected to you wisely. I know you're trying to help out your girlfriend and she's in a rough spot. But if you're trying to help out 3 of them and you only got 3 outlets to plug yourself into to get good stuff, you're going to burn yourself dry. You're going to run yourself ragged. So, Bishop, the best you can you give us some good advice on picking friends that are really going to help carry us to Jesus?
I mean, I think something simple is, do they go to church? A lot of times people say they're Christians and don't even go to church. If they're not around other believers. So it's like, are you going to have the friend that's like, no, let's step late. We ain't got to go to church tomorrow. It's the simple like behaviors of like, okay, are they encourage you to read your word? Or are the people who gossip? They always want to talk about someone else. And it's like, it's never like this life-giving thing, but it's like always, sort of like, where Jerry Dimon sort of came and told us, what's on us about, just like, what is it about? Are you speaking life or are you speaking death? And I mean, the other thing, there's some basic things like those basic things in life, add up. Like someone who's going to encourage you to go to church, someone who speaks positive things instead of always speaking negative. I mean, those 2 things alone are going to change you and getting you to read your word. I mean, if you can get some of those things in your life and people to encourage you to do them, could be times you don't want to go to church. There's a lot of times you don't want to read your word. And there's a lot of times you want to speak negative. Like those are things like we just naturally want to go towards. So people who can encourage you to go in those right directions, I mean, I think it's be super beneficial.
Yeah. Go ahead. Follow that up. Token. What you got?
I think one of the things that we struggle with when it comes to having positive relationships is that we see potential in people, and I think sometimes we feel like we can bring it out of them. And but they're good people, and we want to see the best in people, and at times I think that's a flaw of ours. Because what we end up doing is hanging out with the seagulls instead of flying with eagles, right? Mm-hmm. And we know that these people are like potentials rather than hanging out with people who will like bring us up. Mm-hmm. We're trying to bring other people up. And I'm not saying that you should, just dismiss everybody that you grew up with or dismiss people who you work with or anything like that. But if the 6 outlets are all people who you're trying to pull and bring up, at some point they're going to bring you down. And so out of those 6 outlets, 5 or 6 of them need to be people who are ahead of you, who can help push you and catapult you forward in your faith.
I love it. I'm going to break it down like this, okay? I call it the 4 tiers. On one of those tiers, you need to have somebody that you are investing in, that you are helping. Someone, and that could be homie from around the way that you grew up with. That could be your coworker. That could be your cousin. It could be whoever. Someone that you are depositing in, that you're being an influence to them, that you are blessing them, and that you are, helping them in that way. The second one is you need someone who you can keep it real with. You need a real brother. You need someone who you can bare your soul to, who you can confess. Remember, you're only as sick as your secrets. You need someone who you can be like, hey, man, this is what's really going on. Here's what I don't want nobody to know. I'm embarrassed about it, but I know you'll pray with me. I know that you will give me the good word. I know that you'll just listen to me, and you won't judge me. You won't hold nothing against me. You got my back 100, and I appreciate that. Then you need somebody who's able to speak into your life personally. They are a mentor. Where they said this is what you need to do, then this is what you're going to do. You don't pull a Cam Newton. You don't try to rebuttal. You don't try to say, but my intentions are good. They're able to tell you, you need to fix this. Because if you don't fix this, this is going to wreck you. It's going to wreck your marriage or whatever, etc., right? Whatever that may be. And I want to speak to this. When you find that person, you need to honor that person. They don't pursue you, you pursue them. You set up the next meeting. You come with a list of questions. You write down their answers. You show them that you're hungry. You show them that you're ready, willing, and available to do what they ask. You make sure you let them know you ain't wasting no time with me. I am moldable. I am teachable. All you got to do is say go, and I'm on it. I will get it done. And I tell you what, they're going to want to invest in you. They're going to look forward to calling you. Oh, I can't wait to call so-and-so. They always hungry. Trust me, closed mouths don't get fed, but a hungry bird with an open mouth, you're going to eat all day. Don't ever forget that. And number 4, whatever profession you're in, you need to be seeking out someone who's at least a lap or two ahead of you. I'm always trying to listen to pastors who are a lap or two ahead of me. I may not know, I may never get to meet them, but they are mentoring me. I'm like, look at what he's doing. Oh, I see that. Oh, I'm going to have to do that because that's gold right there. That's gold standards right there. I need to do that. And so I'm constantly trying to feed myself to get myself better. If you ain't working on you, no one else is going to help you. You got to work on you. I was thinking about it today. I got to get better at communicating. You know what? This person's really good at communicating. I got to start devouring their stuff. They got a book. They got a podcast. I got to get better at communicating. Nope, I got to raise my game up. I got here where I'm at because of the skill set I had. If I'm trying to get to the next level, I got to switch it up. I got to get to somebody who's already been there, done that. Because I can't tear him down. He ain't coming down to where I am at. Now, I think I can tear him down and bring him down. No, he already up there. I got to go to where he is. And to go to where he is, I got to learn from him. People think they get to come up on somebody's downfall. You never come up that way. It does not work. If you want to ascend, you got to fly with eagles. You got to find an eagle and you got to soar with them. And that's just the bottom line. And so as you're doing this with the friends, I just encourage you to do that. Now, the day may come where you get to meet that mentor. You get to meet that mentor. And that truly is an honor and a privilege. So I just encourage you. And you'll be able to say, I've been following you from afar. I appreciate everything you've given. Appreciate all the time. I appreciate you putting your life out there. You've been truly a friend in that regard. And I appreciate that. But I think people right now, they got way too many people they trying to help when they need help themselves. And the second thing is they don't got nobody who they can bear their soul with. So they're walking around sick with secrets. Third, they ain't listening to anybody who's above them. They're over there trying to pull a Cam Newton, getting their feelings. And fourth, they're not really trying to look at anybody who's ahead of them and trying to excel. So I would encourage everybody to do that. Why? Because everybody at one time in their life is going to be lying on a mat and need to be brought to Jesus. We're all going to be there one day. This has been the Not Offended Podcast. Peace. I'm out.